Hey indie wrestling fans, Brian Zane here. It's Friday, August 31st, and it's time for Independent Wrestling Weekly. Well, a pioneer in Joshi wrestling and women's MMA has passed away. Japanese star Aya Koyama, also known as Aaliyah, succumbed to her fight with cancer over the weekend, as first reported on Twitter by Women of Honor champion Sumi Sakai. Koyama had her first wrestling match in 1996, working for such promotions as All Japan Pro Wrestling, All Japan Women's Pro Wrestling, and CMLL, among others, before taking a 3-year hiatus in the mid-2000s to pursue a career in mixed martial arts, going 4-9-1. In 2017, she wrestled her retirement match, all while battling stage 4 cancer. Koyama was 45. Toni Storm is canceling her next several dates due to what's being called an undisclosed injury. The Australian star was reportedly injured during the NXT UK tapings in Birmingham last weekend. As a result of the injury, Storm has been stripped of her WXW Women's Championship, which hadn't been defended in more than 4 months. We here at Independent Wrestling Weekly wish Storm a speedy recovery. Well, following the recent deadly shooting during a Madden tournament in Jacksonville, Florida, Cody Rhodes has announced there will be extra security for All In this Saturday. But on a lighter note, fans are feverishly speculating a return of the King that night in Chicago. After sitting out his WWE contract for almost a year, the Wrestling Observer confirmed this week that former Cruiserweight champion Neville has officially parted ways with the company and is free to work elsewhere. The news has fueled countless rumors of an appearance at All In this weekend and has been bolstered by tweets from Cody and the Young Bucks. We'll have to wait and see what happens, as All In takes place this Saturday night at 7 p.m. Eastern after a 1-hour pre-show on WGN America. The card for the main show features Kenny Omega versus Penta El Zero M, Kazuchika Okada versus Marty Scurll, Joey Janela takes on Hangman Page in a Chicago street fight, Nick Aldis defends the NWA World's Heavyweight title against Cody Rhodes, Jay Lethal fights the winner of the over-budget Battle Royal in a Ring of Honor World title match, the Young Bucks and Kota Ibushi versus Rey Mysterio, Phoenix, and Bandito, and much more. Stay tuned to this channel next Wednesday for my review of All In, featuring my West Coast Wrestling Connection broadcast partner Blake Chadwick. This will be in place of that week's Who Wore It Better. One of the stars of Glow on Netflix got physical with a wrestler on stage this past weekend. It happened at the Reading Festival in Reading, England, the world's oldest pop music festival. Kate Nash, a UK pop singer and the actress behind Britannica on the Emmy-nominated Netflix show, was just about to perform for a crowd Saturday until Jeddah from Pro Wrestling Eve stormed the stage to berate Nash. But then Aaron Angel broke up the protest, diving onto Jeddah from the production stands. The scuffle ended when Nash herself delivered a body slam to Jeddah on stage. No word yet if this will be followed up on at a future Pro Wrestling Eve event. How young is too young? That's the question fans and wrestlers alike are debating this week after a famous fan has begun to wrestle. Take a look at this footage from Punk Pro Wrestling out of Florida this past Sunday. Here you see 11-year-old Izzy, who's garnered fame in recent years as the Bayley superfan at the NXT tapings at Full Sail University, wrestling Effie in her very first match for the PPW Internet Championship. After surviving a choke slam, Izzy was able to rally to defeat the champ and claim the title for her own after a well-placed stunner. Izzy put out a tweet Wednesday thanking fans for their concerns and saying that she would not be wrestling on a full-time basis, but many within the community are speaking out against what happened over the weekend. Sean Waltman said on Twitter, quote, "No way a 12-year-old's brain should be subject to pro wrestling bumps, especially a choke slam." Chelsea Green said, quote, "It's unfortunate her first match wasn't at the school she's trained at where she's protected, but we live and we learn. I hope promoters take note." Lindsay Dorado said, quote, "As a parent and professional wrestler, I feel utterly embarrassed due to my peers' actions." But others within the profession have spoken out in support of what happened in Florida. Joey Ryan said on Twitter, quote, "Everybody wants to treat wrestling like a real sport until it's inconvenient. Most professional athletes were playing year-round full-contact sports when they were 12. While Matt Jackson of the Young Bucks could only provide a clip of he and Nick superkicking a child in the ring with the caption, 'Some sick people in this world.' And now we ask you, do you think it's okay for someone as young as 11 to be taking bumps in the ring? Cast your vote in the iCard in the corner of your screen and be sure to sound off in the comments. This past Tuesday, Black Label Pro announced their participants in this year's Darkest Timeline Championship Tournament. BLP champion Jordan Grace will be defending her title throughout the tournament, which will also include Brian Pillman Jr., Alley Cat, Kevin Koo, PB Smooth, Josh Briggs, PCO, Andrew Everett, Joey Lynch, Tom Lawler, Jake Parnell, and many more. The tournament takes place on September 22nd at On the Square Sports Academy in Crown Point, Indiana. Taking a look back at this past weekend, Trevor Lee continues his record-setting reign with the CWF MidAtlantic Heavyweight Championship after a successful defense against Chet Sterling this past Saturday, bringing his current reign to 917 days. Also on Saturday, Cool J and Michael McAllister became the new tag team champions after beating Kane Justice and Ethan Alexander Sharp. Plus, John Schuyler won the 2018 John Weaver Memorial Cup after beating Cam Carter in the finals. CWF MidAtlantic returns on Saturday, September 8th with 90s Night. Absolute Intense Wrestling hosted their third annual Wrestle Rager in Cleveland this past Saturday. The show saw Britt Baker defeat Alley Cat, PCO beat Matt Justice and Sabu, and John Thorne, the Philly Marino Experience, and Weird World defeated Duke Money in a 5-on-4 Fans Bring the Weapons match. AIW returns with Escape from Cleveland on September 14th. Blackcraft cast its magic on Pittsburgh this past Friday night with their inaugural show, Burning Bridges. 3 new champions were crowned as OVE became the tag champions, Soraya Knight became the first Blackcraft women's champion, and Johnny Blackcraft, that's John Morrison for those keeping score, beat Brody King to become the league's first heavyweight champ. Blackcraft heads to Anaheim, California with Reaper's Revenge on October 5th. Women's Wrestling Revolution wowed Worcester this past weekend with their facelift event. The team of Jeff Cannonball and Tara Calloway beat Gabby Ortiz and Leon St. Giovanni, plus Tracy Williams retained the Powerbomb.tv independent title against Shotzi Blackheart. A replay of the show is available on Powerbomb.tv. Looking ahead to this weekend, Shekar presents its annual classic, the King of Trios, all weekend long. The 3-night tournament will feature 16 teams battling out for supremacy, including the Sisters of the Mighty. That's former WWE Women's Champion Mighty Molly, Solo Darling, and Asia Pereira. And former Nexus members Michael Tarver, Darren Young, and PJ Black reunite to take on The Regime. The tournament begins Friday at the Funplex in Easton, Pennsylvania. Cody and the Young Bucks aren't the only ones running in the Chicago area this weekend, as AAW Pro presents Defining Moment this Friday night. The show will see Darby Allin versus Shane Strickland, as well as appearances by ACH, Sami Callihan, Brody King, Jeff Cobb, and many more. The event is sold out, but you can see it live on the High Spots Network Friday at 7:30. In Canada, Alpha One brings tournament action of their own to Hamilton, Ontario with their King of Hearts tourney. It will feature the current Alpha Male champion Ricky Shane Page, among others, and the title will be on the line throughout the tournament. The tag titles are also on the line as the Space Pirates defend against the Frat. It's going down this Sunday at 4 p.m. Across the pond, WrestleZone Scotland in Aberdeen will celebrate its 10th anniversary with a big show at the Beach Ballroom this Saturday. The show will see Sami Zayn versus Viper, Bingo Balance versus Chavo Guerrero, Grado and Santino Marella versus Krieger and Kid Fight, and a steel cage match for the undisputed title, as Shawn Johnson defends against Damien with special enforcer Lee McAllister. Tickets are available at AberdeenPerformingArts.com. MLW in Fort Lauderdale, Florida presents its own version of War Games during next Thursday's TV tapings. The War Games match will pit the team of Shane Strickland, John Morrison, Tommy Dreamer, Barrington Hughes, and Cotto Brazil against Sami Callihan, Abyss, Jimmy Havoc, Fulton, and Leon Scott. Also announced on the card, Joey Janela takes on Tom Lawler. The taping takes place at the War Memorial Auditorium and begins at 7 p.m. Now here's a look at what else you can expect over the next couple of weekends. In our clip of the week, when you watch a Falls Count Anywhere match, you better expect the falls to take place anywhere. Taking you to Sabotage Wrestling in Austin, Texas this past Saturday in a no DQ Falls Count Anywhere match between Angel Blue and Leva Bates. The match reaches its scintillating conclusion when Blue catches Bates in midair, then dumps her into the trunk of a car. Blue closes the trunk, trapping her opponent inside and forcing the referee to call the match. Don't worry, they got Leva out of the trunk very quickly once the match was over. That's going to do it for this week, fans. Quick reminder, there will be no Independent Wrestling Weekly next week as I'll be on assignment in England, but you can still write to us with tips regarding news, upcoming shows, and results by going to regretnews@gmail.com. I'm Brian Zane, and I'll see you next time.